So hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we're back with our algorithmic update. So we have 4 Python strategies that we are running. We check them every month to see their performance, and yeah, this is the monthly update for January 2026. So the first month, and let's see how we've done. So these were all the stocks. Remember, it updates every 15th of each month. These were all the stocks that were picked on the 15th of December, and now 1 month later we evaluate their performance compared to S&P for the same time frame. So that's the first strategy. Very simple. Very simple. I mean, there's the implementation behind it, but if you're new to the channel, you may ask, like, how do you get these stocks? All these stocks are chosen quite simply on if they were Zacks rank 1 or Zacks rank 2. So of course you have to web scrape all of that, which takes time, but given our I've made a custom Python thing that scrapes all these ranks, and we give all these stocks, the whole list of stocks to you. It's about 600 stocks per month on average that have rank 1 or 2 every month, and we give them to you for free. And yeah, so far it's been outperforming the S&P. So again, this code is just comparing it to the S&P. For all the stocks, it gets their price today, and it compares it to price when chosen, and then you run it for all the stocks, and these are the final results of the first strategy. 4.78% in 1 month, remember, whereas the S&P did 2.63%. So yeah, completely blowing out the S&P out of the water, basically just destroying it as usual, as we've done in the recent months. Nearly 5% in 1 month. You can't complain, right? Absolutely insane results. And yeah, that's the easiest strategy, as long as you either follow my website or you make your own custom code. And then we have 3 other newer strategies that we've been running since, about 6 months now, I think. And how it works is, I'll explain for each one because they're different. So the first one is an earnings one. So this is trying to buy companies just before earnings and predicting which ones will post good earnings and hopefully go up. Because remember, if a company posts good earnings, it doesn't always mean they go up. There's always guidance risks, just overestimation risks, stuff like that. There's always risks, but you can identify by yourself companies that are more likely to go up than others, basically. So that's how this works. So for every company in a month, we look at the ones that posted earnings. We make sure that, again, the rank is 1 or 2, so that in case the stock does go down, it has a higher chance of coming up after earnings. The only other filters really are that it's not past earnings. So you can see, where's that? Yeah, past equals false. So that means it's earnings that will happen in the future. So we aren't taking stocks that only beat earnings after we knew. We're looking before earnings, taking all the stocks there that reply to the filters, and the main filter is EPS percentage. So what this means is, do analysts think that the stock will beat its earnings percentage, basically? So we're buying stocks that analysts think will beat earnings before earnings, and then we're evaluating their price after it. And so for this month, again, earnings season just started now, and this is for the prior month, so not a lot of stocks, but of course you can see big ones like Nvidia, MongoDB, which I use for this algorithm and the app that I'll show you, and then Marvel. So quite interesting ones. I think this Macy, I think I know this on Ulta Beauty, but anyway, these are stocks identified, so you can check them, check all of that if you want. But again, the key is EPS percentage was positive, so analysts thought they would be earnings, and rank is between 2 and 1. And then here again, they're just computing the price, and again, beautiful 4.62%, absolutely beautiful. Some stocks sort of pulled down on the performance, like PHR and SNPS, but then yeah, you can see biggest winner MongoDB, and I went on this, and yeah, I can tell you I was screenshotting that because it was a crazy move. So yeah, that's the second one. Again, 4.62% beating the S&P. That's all we want, right? Then the dividends one, this is meant to be a more stable one. Quite easy. Again, all the filters are here. Basically, this is the dividend X capture strategy. So what it does is it tries to identify stocks before X date that it believes that after the X date it will recover its price. Because normally on the X date, right, you're meant to drop by the dividend yield you're paying out. But what we've shown here is that if these stocks are rank 2 buy or rank 1 buy, so that's the theory, they won't actually drop by that much, or they'll recover by the end of the month to that prior X day price. So we don't care about EPS percentage. The only thing we care about is rank 2 or 1. The other thing we care about is that the yield is above 2% because we don't want to get like tiny amounts of yield. So just this. And then the way we compute the strategy, pretty easy. The only difference for this one is you get the stock price and then you add the yield amount, because of course this is just the stock price from Yahoo Finance. You need to add the dividend yield, because if you buy before the X date, you'll receive the dividend and you'll also then get the sell of the latest price. So just adding the dividend there. And again, the performance of this, again, another 4%, are very consistent this month. This usually doesn't happen. Dividend is meant to be lower. So this is quite surprising to me. But you can see it just from this one outperformance. So this Abacus management, something, I looked at it and yeah, it's just had an unusual jump. So that's quite lucky in a sense, but we've backtested it for quite a long time now and it's done okay so far. You'll see the charts if you haven't seen them before. And then, yeah, this is the final strategy we run, so earnings reversal. So why is this one? It's quite simple. It's literally the opposite of the earnings one, basically. Once the stock has posted earnings, you get the results, right? So we're looking at companies that had a positive surprise percentage, and that's it for now. This is called earnings reversal, and it means that if a stock has good earnings but doesn't go up by a certain amount, then you see earnings drift. There's like huge amount of academic literature. You can go read about it. It's called post-earnings drift, PEAD, if you want to read about it. And after earnings, investors tend to underestimate how good the earnings were, so it tends to drift up. This is a very sort of basic strategy. We're not even looking only at strong buy and to buy, because I really want to see if PEAD actually exists, if the literature is true. So yeah, the only filter is it has to be a past earnings, so we have to be able to look at the results. The surprise percentage has to be positive. That means the stock beat earnings. And then yeah, that's the only filters. We could add one strong buy and two buy, and then the other thing that we should be adding really is if the price has actually gone up after earnings. Because normally PAD, it only applies to stocks that have gone down and then they go back up after earnings, but right now we're not even filtering for that. Say a stock goes up like 20% after earnings, but its surprise percentage was positive. That's kind of expected, right? So we should be filtering that out, but we're not. So this strategy is kind of flawed in the way I'm implementing it, but we evaluate it anyway. And then yeah, here's not like dividends. You just look at the last price compared to the price you bought it at right after its earnings, if its price is good. And yeah, this one, more tame performance, 1.39%, but it's comparable to the S&P for that month. Because remember, this is not this month, this is track back 1 month, because you need to look at the full range of months. The only strategy that is for this month is the main one, right? The Zacks rank 1 and 2. All the other ones, earnings, dividends, past earnings, those are basically 1 month back. And I can tell you the S&P in that month, so from November to December, did 1.39%. So the dividends and earnings one, they blew out the S&P, and this one literally performed like the S&P. So now we'll go on to the app, where I forgot to mention at the start, but people have been requesting a lot of updates, so it's good to see my app is being used by quite a lot of people and people are suggesting updates. So I've just finished, I have a project due on the 18th, but I've done my part as a group project, so normally I'll be able to work on those updates and roll them out before the next monthly update on the 15th. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll basically refresh the website because every 15th it gets updated. So you can see this is the current month, and if I refresh it every 15th it gets updated. You can see new chart. So again, this is the main strategy. It's just beautiful to look at, right? Plus 15%, and this is over 2 years, so robustly tested, and yeah, just beautiful to look at. As I said, this is the dividend strategy. So again, as I said, this one is meant to be consistent, but quite a big uptrue here, but still compared to S&P it's not good enough. And then yeah, this is the earnings strategy. Again, it's starting to catch up. This is the one I have the most faith in because I used it the most daily. It just had a really sort of poor start, and the S&P has been doing really well as well, but I do trust in this one. And if we look at the main chart as well, so this is, yeah, S&P is that one. So you can see this one was underperforming a lot at the start as well, so we just have to let it time to run the strategy. This negative drop really hurt it because it was quite close there, but you can see now it's only about was like 4% away, so not too bad. And then the earnings reversal, this PEAD, as I said, you can see here the S&P did 1.39 because this is tracked back 1 month, and yeah, this one just doesn't work. But as I said, we're not currently applying the right filters. We should be looking at stocks that have gone down and had positive surprise percentage, so beat the earnings. So yeah, that's the monthly update. Now I'll talk about the updates that people have requested. So just so you guys know, the date is here. 1501. This is when we refresh the stock, so you can see this has been updated today, and it stays the same until next monthly update in February. And then if you click on it, this is where we'll get into what people have requested. So yeah, this basically gives you all the stocks that I've web scraped at the start of the month, well today basically, that have rank 1 and 2. You get their current price, and at the end of the month, on the next February, we'll look at the price and reevaluate them. But you can filter by stuff. But what a user has requested, and it makes sense as I'll show you, is to show a order by here, because right now you can only filter by, you can't order by. And if you look at all the other features that I have on my page, so this is like the earnings one, you can see we can order by symbol, we can order by name, we can order by rank, basically all the features in the table. And I've already done this algorithm. It's quite easy to do. If you don't know how to do it in JavaScript, do it in Python, or if you can't code, just ask AI to do it. It's quite simple. And yeah, the only thing you need to be careful is the types, right? Like pre-market, you need to do a custom one. So you can see time there, there's pre-market, then after hours, and yeah, and this stays NA. But yeah, we want to implement a filter by on the table here, just to make it easier to navigate instead of having to use each individual filter. The only thing I'd have to say is this has like about 600 stocks per month to identify, so it may be quite like computationally expensive, I guess, is the way I'd say it. Like when you do it, even here you can see it causes lag. So here, like I'm typing, but you can see it's still stuck because there's so many stocks. It needs to go through all the stocks and look for only those that have W. And you see, I was typing, it only updates then, but it does work. It just takes some time, right? So my PC is quite good. Hopefully you guys' PC, or it works on mobile as well. But yeah, we'll add a filter by here. And then the other thing they requested is a sector, sorry. So you'll be able to, see the sector for each stock as well, because some people, they tend to, avoid like, consumer defensive stuff like that, or they want to only invest in what they think will go up, like for example tech or semis or something like that. So yeah, we'll add a sector column here, and again that will have to be added to the Zacks scraping algorithm. And the only other thing that we'll check is is this page. So this page is an individual stock checker, so you get the company name, type, currency, and then here, since we'll now have sectors within our MongoDB database, I'll be able to add a sector underneath that. This will stay the same, latest stock data, because the sector won't change, right? I don't think it would make sense to put it in the latest one. And then here you have the chart, where you can put different things. You get to see if you're on lower time frames, when it was, so pre-market, aftermarket, regular hours. You can also change the time frame, and then you can also put it to a candle, and you get to see the crazy return of Apple. And then here you have the news, with sometimes you get some comments. You get a top comment, you can't see all the comments, you can see the number of upvotes, for example. But let me skip. Normally Apple has, well, it should, exactly. The camera effect explains why it would drop on such news, of course, although the summit came sooner and the smaller drop than expected. Okay, anyway, who cares? This will change. It will just have sector here. So those are 2 feature requests they requested. If you guys have any feature requests or even feedback, like you hate this feature, you want a new feature, no, it doesn't only have to be like feature requests, right? You can give me feedback on stuff you hate, stuff you don't like, or stuff you do like, or stuff you kind of want tweaked a bit, just like they did. So they did it by email. You can also contact me on Instagram, LinkedIn, contact us. That's the email. I don't want to share feedback this one. Oh, this brings me to email, yeah. Let me close that in case I have some sus emails. But yeah, that's how to contact me. Just do it in the comments, right? It's the easiest way. But yeah, if you do have anything you want to go more in depth in, sorry, you can go to my Instagram, LinkedIn, or by email, as I said. But yeah, that's the monthly update. Just huge results from the main strategy. And then these ones, again, they all did pretty well, except for the PAD. As we said, we're not really following the correct methodology for that one, just kind of expected. But yeah, these two did well. And especially this one, I'm looking at it, this on the road to recovering against S&P. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next month for the next update.